Welcome to Legacy Lane, where Chris and I invite you to join us on the journey of what's going on at Legacy Ministries. And Chris, I was just thinking about, we're leaving a legacy for Christ. Our legal name is Legacy Ministries for Christ Incorporated. And so I was thinking about his last words to us. Can you remind us what that is?
Yes, and it's truly fundamental to who we are. He said, go and make disciples, right? We're supposed to follow him. We're supposed to teach others to follow him.
Yeah, and I'm excited because the things that we're doing is just that, making disciples. So we at Legacy Lane, all these episodes are looking back at what's been going on this month and looking forward. So please stay tuned, because especially we're going to tell you about a special event called Friendsgiving that we're excited about. But first, I want to hand it over to Chris, and he's going to talk to you about what happened at Growing Disciples on the first Tuesday night.
So this past Tuesday night, we covered a chapter in the book, The Other Half of Church, which we've been doing now for several months. And it was all about healthy correction. And this is so important because in our human nature, we have a tendency to correct in a harmful way, where we can often come across as condemning. And that's just not healthy. It's not biblical. So we talked about healthy correction in order to stay within our group identity as followers of Christ.
And I want to say we had some really good interaction, both on Zoom and in person. So that's the neat thing about Growing Disciples. You can join even if you live in Washington or Virginia or wherever.
We'd love to have you join,
yes,
whether you live in the Atlanta area or not.
So tell us about Friday night. We had a men's Firepit fellowship right in our backyard.
I love those events. So we did indeed have a men's event. And it was wonderful. It was a fire pit, it was food, it was fellowship, it was fun. And I did a pretty simple teaching on what it's like to be a biblical man. Meaning, the culture around us has sort of destroyed the definition of manhood. And what we wanted to really lift up is how to demonstrate biblical characteristics, healthy responsibilities of being a man. And that includes strengthening the family fabric, because that's what the culture is trying to destroy.
Yes. It's so, I just want you to know that Legacy is going to stay down our lane, and we're going to be with the Bible on this. We know what a man is and what a woman is. That's been blurred. I can't believe in my lifetime that we somehow have gotten away from that.
Sad.
But anyway, thank God for his word that we can rely on for these things.
Yes, indeed.
We invite you to prayerfully consider becoming a loyal Legacy partner. Your contributions to this ministry will equip believers to make an impact in their world for Christ.
So that was what's been going on this month. And before the month's over, we have one more event that I want to invite you to. And that is Inner Healing Prayer Basic Training. A lot of people have been asking when I'm going to offer this again. Inner Healing Prayer, for those of you that don't know, and I won't go into great detail, but you can go to our website at legacyministries.info and read all about it. And you can also register there. But it is going to be the last weekend of October. I believe that's Friday night, the 25th. And Saturday the 26th. And there is a fee, but if you've had the training before, you can always come back for free, for a refresher. And it's just an incredible tool that I use in counseling, but you can also use it just for yourself. Do you have those inner wounds that are just blocking you from being able to walk out God's call in your life? Come and see, we ask God for his perspective on these things, and his perspective always brings inner healing. And it's very prayer-based. You don't have to be a counselor to do it. So that's why I offer it to everyone, because we all need inner healing. And so that's the last thing in this month. And then finally, November, well, actually, I was going to do Friendsgiving, but first it's going to be Growing Disciples again.
Right. So the first Tuesday in November.
Right.
Which is election night.
Election. So go vote.
Go vote.
Please
and
vote.
Then
Pray about it.
us.
And come join us. Yes.
Yes. So again, in person or Zoom, we're going to study a chapter.
Chapter 7 in the book.
In the same book. And so it's the other half of church. And the topic will be about sort of a selfish pride, a high ego, how that's unhealthy, and how we can help as people who are healthy followers of Christ. We can help those who are unhealthy, prideful, egotistical people to really find their way back to a healthy, centered relationship in Jesus.
And that's chapter 7. There's only 8 chapters in this book, and so our last one's going to be in December, which brings us to the end of the year. But so even if you haven't joined us for growing disciples for this book up to this point, you can dive in right now. Mm-hmm. It's a great book.
Hey, Hannah, can I sit with you?
Sure.
I hear you're running in your first cross-country race tomorrow. Are you excited?
A little. We don't really have a team.
Girl, that makes me admire you even more. You still represent our school. Do you enjoy running?
It's really the only thing I'm good at.
I really have a heart to invite you to our Friendsgiving. We have never had Friendsgiving before, but I was starting to think back when my kids were in college, and during the month of November, they'd made a lot of good college friends, and they wanted to have like a Thanksgiving, except they called it Friendsgiving. So they would call me and say, "Hey, Mom, what was your recipe for sweet potato souffle? We're having a Friendsgiving." So I started thinking, maybe we should have a Friendsgiving, for legacy friends.
Right.
And it will be threefold. So first of all, just get together and be thankful for our friendship together, our community, and also thanking God for what He has done in and through Legacy Ministries. So we also in the fall have usually, now Chris, you haven't really, they just came in April,
right,
officially.
Right.
And you haven't really been here a lot for our fundraising, but we try to do that in the fall. Yep. Fall fundraising, and we've done all kind of things. I mean, we've done auctions, we've done dinners, we've done all kind of things. But what we want to do is not have an auction, not do all that, and just ask you on Friendsgiving, we're asking our friends to pray about what you might want to give to Legacy Ministries. And, what's the importance of that?
Well, first of all, not under compulsion, right? The whole point is God loves a cheerful giver. So we ask you to prayerfully consider your cheerful gift to Legacy Ministries. And what it does is it sustains the very thing we talked about at the top, which is to help make disciples. That's what we're here to do, and we need your help to do it.
Yes. It's going to be a great time. So be on the lookout, because we have a team that's getting together to plan on this, and we're going to have a sign up that you can go online. And hey, if you make great squash casserole, let's say, or whatever, you can sign up for that. And we're going to actually sign up for what you're bringing so that we can come together with the food, Thanksgiving feast, right? And we're going to make that at 6 p.m. And it's going to be at Trinity Church in Sharpsburg at the gathering place in their fellowship hall. And they also have a outdoor patio with a fireplace and all that right off of that we can use that as well. Maybe do some worship together and
I'd like that.
Thanking God. Every time there's a fire, we got to have s'mores, right? But
we do. We have to have s'mores.
Anyway, so we want to invite you to that. We're just excited about what God's doing, and we want to keep you in the loop. And so that's what we do on Legacy Lane episodes. Mm-hmm. And so we will see you in November for the next episode.
We appreciate you tuning in to our broadcast today. For more details about Legacy Ministries, visit www.legacyministries.info. We hope you'll join us next month for another episode of Legacy Lane.